Today we're going to answer the $1,000,000 question. How do I find tax lien certificates in any market? Today we're going to show you the best kept secret on finding tax liens in any market. The other question I'm going to answer is, why do counties make this so difficult, and how can I overcome that? And for the best places to find tax lien certificates in any market. And last but not least, who is it that you need to be friends with at the county level? This and more we're going to cover in this video, so stick around to the very end. Okay, let's just start at the very beginning. Why is there a tax lien certificate? Why is there a department? What is the county doing with all this? Okay, look, let's just get a little civics lesson here. You know, as we all know, the county can't print money like the federal government. They literally are on a strict budget. Gosh, I don't know what the exact percentage. I'm sure that somebody out there will correct me in the comments, and that's fine. Their budget comes from property taxes. I mean, that's how they get their money. I mean, where they're going to use that money, number one, okay, the number one place for any of that money is going to be the schools. Okay, that's number one. Probably 65%, as low as 55% of all property taxes is going to be paid for the school. Then you got roads, fire department, and what have you. So they need this money. So the county has to set up some kind of an infrastructure, because they're obligated by statute that their job, one of their main jobs in the Treasury, is to collect property taxes. So what they discovered a long time ago is, hey, we not only need to collect property taxes, but we need a mechanism in order to make it easy for people to pay property taxes and what have you. So let's address probably one of the bigger myths out there. How is it that somebody can fail to pay a property taxes when my taxes are paid in my mortgage? That's not always the case. Some mortgage companies don't require an escrow account, and you would actually be surprised at how many properties in the United States are owned free and clear. In fact, if some of you want to look that up, you know, what's how many percentage-wise homes are owed free and clear in the United States? You know, put in the comments down below. I'd love to see the research on that. You know, it used to be as high as 48% of them are owned that way. So they need a mechanism to take care of the county. You've got things like the tax collector, the Treasury Department. There's all of these different departments that you need to go look in and find this out. So one of the best and easiest ways to find within the county is just look up property taxes in my county, and boom, you're going to find the areas there. Let me give you a list of some of those. You got tax commissioner, you got tax assessor, you got the Treasury. These are just 4 of the ones that are out there, okay? There's all sorts of different areas, and it depends on how they're set up, really, on how they're collecting. So when you look inside there, they're gonna say, hey, this is where most of it's gonna be set up to pay your property taxes, not so much tax lien certificates to buy, because remember, well, I don't know if I've said this, 99.5% of all property taxes pay their property taxes. So the county's only dealing with this a little 0.5% that's not. So in all reality, they're doing their job to the fullest extent. All we're there to do is pick up but they still need the money, okay? And understand that fraction could be hundreds of thousands of dollars in one county, millions of dollars in other counties. You know, I've seen 3 tax lien areas. Let's just take Chicago, for instance, over $900,000 in uncollected property taxes each and every single year. Some places down in like Maricopa County, you get $700,000 in uncollected property taxes. And then you've got deed areas where you get, you know, close to $1.2 million in deeds are coming up every single year. So there's different reasons on why they have this, and this is what you're looking at. Regardless of whether it is the tax collector, the tax assessor, the county property tax department, whatever, treasurer, okay, they have to have that list available. It's very accurate. These are the people that has failed to pay the property taxes. Now, you can't go in and say, hey, Bob and Sally down the street, they haven't been paying their property taxes off. I'd like to go in there and pay the taxes. I know they're having some trouble, you know. It's not going to happen. They have to be delinquent at least 1 year before the property is going to come up on the property tax list. Once the property comes up on the list, there's going to be a date for the sale that's held. And let's say it's going to be June 1. In all counties around the United States, the county treasurer, the county assessors, whoever that is, has got to make that list available publicly 30 days prior to the sale minimum. So what happens is this, is they say, okay, we have to make a public notice. Again, understand the laws in this country are so strict on taking people's property. I think it was Alexander Hamilton, Benjamin Franklin, and Jefferson said, if we could make the laws of property ownership rock solid, we will become the financial metropolis of the world. And they were right. Okay, we need to understand that property rights are super huge there, but they said, at some point something's got to give. So they said, okay, first notice is we're sending you all these notifications, but now we're going to make it a public notice. Now this is important. When and where that list comes out is where you're going to be talking to the county, the treasurer, assessors, whoever that is, and you say, hey, when exactly will that list be coming out? Oh, it's going to be coming out on May 1st. Okay, May 1st on it. Okay, that's the first question you want to ask is when. When is the list due? Okay. Number two, so this is one. Number two, the one thing I want to look at is how. How are they going to issue that list? Is it going to be in a public newspaper? Okay, for those of you under 30, a newspaper is a bunch of paper that they used to print out. It's not an iPad or whatever. Any kind of a free publication, let's say. Maybe it's a newspaper, okay? Maybe it's going to be available literally at the county. So you got to go down to the county to get it. And it's literally, if the county takes that list and publishes it in the public space, like in the hallway, that's considered satisfied as far as the county is concerned. So this is the area now once they have the list and you've got the list, now you need to decipher how the list is registered. In other words, are they putting addresses for the physical property or is it the address for the property owner? Are they giving you parcel ID numbers? All of these things are going to be very important once you start looking at the list. Now this next part is extremely important, is when. The second when is the auction. And then also where is the auction going to be? Where is that auction going to be? So is it going to be online? Is it going to be live there publicly? Is it going to be, where is it going to be? And specifically at what time? So now that I've got the list, now I'm going to do my research. I want to show up for the auction. Say, well, Sean, this is not enough time. This is how much time you're going to have. You're going to have 30 days to do all your research on these properties. So what am I looking for on that research? I want to make sure and verify the value of the property and what percentage of that is it to the lien amount. Okay, so if I've got let's look at a $200,000 fair market value, and I can buy a lien on this property for $3,000. And I'm looking at this, and what's the interest rate? We haven't established an interest rate, so that's the fun part. So make that green. Let's say the interest rate is 18%. Okay, I got $3,000. It's going to be paying me 18%, and if they don't, I'm going to get the property at $200,000. And let's say it is a 2-year redemption period. Boom. Boom, boom. There's no place on planet Earth that you're going to get a guaranteed interest rate of 18%. And if the person fails to pay off that debt, you get a $200,000 property. Go down to the bank and say you want to give them $3,000 and you want a guaranteed 18%. They're going to be, got security, call the police. Somebody's been watching Sean's videos again, okay? That's what I'm saying. Best kept secret in the United States is right now. In fact, there's so much going on here. Now, what's that research gap that we just talked about? I've just compiled this video. Ooh, you're gonna love this. Okay, I have got so much information that gives me a lot more time to slowly but methodically go through so you can learn how to make money. All you have to do is go to Higgins, Higgins, method.com, and I've got a free gift for you. It's training. So you can see if this is right for you and your family and show you how you can make this year a financial win for you and your family. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck.